Welcome everybody to Bearcat Insider. It's May 7th, 2020, and we thought we'd come to you with a little Bearcat news for the day. Want to introduce my co-host, everybody's favorite assistant, Travis Marsh. So how you doing today?
Well, I'm doing good, Chance. It's good to actually be sitting in the same room as you doing this instead of.
Still have 6 feet though.
We still have 6 feet, and we escaped the zoo of my home, and we're over at my parents' house across the street now, so we could find a quiet place to do this, and you get to enjoy all the old pictures that are kind of embarrassing.
And we might have a cat talk to us. What's the cat's name?
It's Coconut.
Coconut,
yeah,
awesome.
Coconut the cat.
Special guest Coconut.
Yes, and so, but no, it's good. We got a good show today, and gonna discuss kind of what's going on with COVID and any updates that we have with that. And then we also have an interview with Coach Ramsey that we're gonna go over, and just some other things to come and some things that we're gonna talk about.
Before we get started, have you seen the Post Signal today?
I actually have. Whenever I was browsing across the online edition, I saw that there's these 2020 senior Lady Cat softball and Bearcat baseball players is in there.
Exactly. Other than David, I might have been the second most excited to see that he had an opportunity to write about sports for a change.
Yeah, I need something. And then there's a great picture of Coach Peacock on a mower on the practice fields, which hopefully will segue into the fact that we get to actually practice on those fields coming in the summer and the fall.
Gotcha.
So
they also had an article about a graduation and how that's changed and what the plans are.
Yeah, as of right now, it's Texas Motor Speedway on May 21st, and so really looking forward to that, and glad we're able to give the seniors an actual ceremony that they're going to kind of be able to rock and roll through. But always great to have the hometown paper, the Post Signal, providing us with great up-to-date information in paper and online.
Absolutely. Speaking of COVID, I saw an article on Twitter, and I cannot remember the guy's name now, but he was a superintendent from the El Paso area. And what he was asked was, is athletics off for the time being? And I want to read you what he said and then get your thoughts on it.
Yes, sir.
He said that the UIL will definitely dictate that, but what he thinks is going to happen is any contact sports they're not going to have. And for those, at least for the first semester. And so when you think about baseball, football, and basketball, now sports that don't have high contact, like tennis, swimming, and those kinds of sports, I think those will be able to continue. Same thing with performing arts, any big events, I think for the first semester, I don't think any contact sports are going to be allowed. Now, from what I understand, he did back off that a little bit, but when you hear that, what do you think?
I'm familiar with the context of it through reading it and things like that, and it's important to realize that everything that comes from anybody who's not associated with the UIL is going to be speculation. It should be treated that way. Now, it does lend itself to he had to hear that somewhere. Did he hear it from the UIL, or did he hear it at the water cooler, or did he hear it from such and such? You know, who knows? But the most important thing is that everybody's going to have an opinion. Everybody's going to have an idea. Everybody's going to have a suggestion. Everybody's going to have what they think should happen, or this is, and it's all speculation. But the UIL is right now presenting very hopeful messages. They have webinars that you're able to attend online, and they're hopeful that we can get back to normal in the summer. They're hopeful that fall sports will remain unchanged. And so I think it's very important to stress the word hopeful, because it's still, we have no idea. The data changes depending on the source. The numbers are sometimes they're up, sometimes they're down, but what we know right now is that it's just different. And
do you listen to those, or have you listened to any of those?
I have. I try to log in if I'm able to, and at least have it on. There's things like the requirements for physicals is it's 7th grade only. It's not the normal 7th grade, 9th grade, 11th grade. They're doing 7th grade only, as long as everything checked out in your previous physical. They're doing that to alleviate the strain on the health professions and the healthcare professionals that have to provide those things. And so there's nuggets that are always out there. But as far as the schedule of return to normal activity is still very much in the air. It's still very much undecided on anything at this point.
Well, I don't want to back you into a corner like the guy from El Paso, but the clock has to be counting down to where something's going to have to come out. And when is that? How far down the road?
I think personally that it might be something as late as a August 1st decision.
Gotcha.
And we're all on pins and needles waiting until the very, very, very end, because as of that time, fall sports schedules have not been affected, because that's not when we can start two-a-days and things like that. And so one of my favorite sayings, stay ready like lunch meat. I think that's kind of what we have to do. It might be a late call by the UIL. It might be hey, let's make it through Independence Day, and that week of Independence Day, and maybe the second week of July we get to start. Who knows?
Hypothetically, working on what you just said, let's say they didn't make a decision until August 1st. To me, and back to, I'm just asking your opinion, I know you don't speak for anyone, wouldn't that then need to cause a delay in the season? Because isn't there a risk of injury if you the kids haven't been able to do their summer stuff that they normally do, and then they just jump right into it in August?
Well, yes and no. And the reason why I say yes and no is, from a logical standpoint, yes, it would kind of put the kids behind the 8 ball. But also those summer workouts are completely non-mandatory and optional and volunteer. And so you can't work under the assumption that a kid's going to work out over the summer in regards to safety in the fall. And so that's why they have the built-in two-a-days, the built-in acclimation period with no pads for 7 days before we can get in full pads. And so there's already a built-in structure that works under the assumption that a kid never worked out all summer long.
Gotcha.
So I don't think it would be a killer, but I would prefer, for the safety of, taking into account that I'm, have my own children that are going to be playing 7th grade football, that we would be able to have the summer to get prepared. I just think that's the better option.
Gotcha. What's that drink you're drinking?
Oh,
to sidetrack us. Sorry.
Oh, it's fine. It's fine. No, man, this is it's Captain America. Okay, it's a energy tea that I picked up at the Nutrition Den, and it is, it's really been neat to have that place come in up there, because not only do I go up there and get this energy drink, which is way better than a Monster, way better than anything like that, but my wife goes up there all the time. She's able to get protein shakes and meal replacement shakes and post-workout and all this type of stuff. And so Ken and Angela, they run the Nutrition Den, and this is where I got this wonderful Captain America energy tea.
I go there myself. I get the coffee, the mocha, maybe a mocha latte. I don't know. I'll walk in there and tell them I want the coffee drink. I don't know the name, but yeah, it's an awesome place.
It is. They're wonderful people.
Super.
They're great people. They're super nice, and I've really enjoyed getting to know them.
And they want to invest in the community. I mean, it seems to me like they're really active and want to be involved with the kids, and
they are.
And be a part of the community.
I saw Ken today, and he had on his Nutrition Den shirt, and on the right sleeve is a Texas flag that's orange and black and white. Mm-hmm. And so, it's not green and white, or it's not red, blue, and white, or anything like that. It's Bearcat, orange, black, and white. And so I really like seeing that. And they take such a huge interest in wanting to provide a quality product at a decent price that can help whatever your goals are. If it's athletic performance, if it's weight loss, they can do it all.
Perfect. And just for the 21 people that are listening to this, and what I understand, if they go in there and they mention that they heard us talk about the Bearcat Nutrition Den when they order something and they check in on Facebook, they get $2 off.
Well,
I believe it's $2 off the order.
If it's not,
I know they get something out of having to listen to us.
Well, and that's the...
So mention us.
Yes, please.
Bearcat Insider.
Bearcat Insider, Ken and Angela, they do a great job, and we really appreciate it. Now, you had your interview with Coach Price on our last episode. I was able to get a hold of Coach Ramsey. We weren't able to sit down and have a traditional interview like you and Jeff were able to, or Coach Price, I'm sorry. But Coach Ramsey and I were able to correspond, and so we're going to kind of have to do this in a weird way, and you're just going to have to bear with me. I don't know if you were in a theater or one-act play in your high school, but you're going to have some lines to read, and so am I.
I get to be you. That's exciting.
Yes, you get to be me. So this will be... Coach Marsh, played by Chance Kirby, and I will be Coach Ramsey.
Okay.
And I'm going to read...
Theater of the Mind.
Yes. I'm going to read Coach Ramsey's answers to my questions, read by you.
Okay.
All right, word for word, and I think that's going to be the best way for us to convey exactly his answers. And I am grateful that he did respond, and there's going to be some questions in here that... they're a little different because of the scenario that we're in.
Certainly.
And so Chance, if you want to get us started with question 1, you are now Coach Marsh.
I'm now Coach Marsh. All right, let me turn my hat around backwards. In your career, have you ever dealt with anything like this COVID-19 cancellation?
All right, Coach Ramsey said, this is my 24th year in coaching, and I've never seen anything quite like this. I would never have imagined that this was even possible.
All right. Question 2. What do you think about the cancellation of the softball season, and what did it cost you as a team?
I guess we're never going to know for sure what this team could have accomplished. However, I feel very strongly that a deep playoff run was in the making for this group. My heart breaks for the kids. The fact that they didn't get an opportunity to compete and finish is a hard pill to swallow. And then there's our 2 seniors to be robbed of their final season. It just sucks. I hate it for them. You talk about 2 great kids in Christine and Brooke. I can't say enough good things about those 2. They will do well moving forward.
Speaking of those 2, saw the video that you did for Bill Meyer on Facebook. That was incredible. How'd you come up with that? Such a great idea.
Well, he just wanted, or I just wanted to do as much as I could to honor those 2 in light of the circumstances. So I thought it would be cool to have their names read aloud over the PA at the softball field one more time. Now, answering is not Coach Ramsey, but is Coach Marsh. After watching that video, for one, it's just an awesome way to honor those 2 in a way that they were never going to get a senior night. They were never going to get to take that field at home one last time as a player. And so it was really, really neat. And I encourage everyone to go find it and watch it. And it's really just a great gesture by Coach Ramsey. And I'm sure those 2 girls appreciated it. And man, not to say anything negative about Brooke at all, because she's a fantastic kid, but to listen to all the accolades that Bill Meyer had, and I thought he was never going to stop talking about awards. Mm-hmm. And so both of those girls will be deeply missed by that program. And I know that we'll continue to do well moving forward, but hats off to those 2. Now, on to the next question.
What does he think we can expect for softball next year?
Next softball season looks pretty promising as well. We have a great group of returners. We have several juniors, which are going to be seniors next year with lots of experience, and we have a great group of freshmen who will be sophomores next year to go with them. Should be lots of fun.
Looking forward to volleyball. That's up next. What are the girls doing right now to prepare for the volleyball season?
Well, now that the softball chapter is closed, now we begin shifting our attention to volleyball. And the key thing right now is to try to keep the girls active with workouts. We want them to be physically working out daily and also doing as much as they can volleyball-wise, working on ball control skills, footwork, serving, whatever it can be. We emphasize to them that you don't have to be in the gym to work on your skills.
If you could give an early outlook on the volleyball season, what do you think of the new district?
So we added 3 new teams to the district, Valley View, Paradise, and Boyd, and we dropped 2 teams in Gunner and Pottsboro. It's going to be a very competitive district. Boyd always seems to have great teams. Ponder will still be very good. Paradise and Valley View will pose new challenges as well. Then you have Whitesboro and SNS who will be improved. And lastly, but certainly not least, you have Callisburg and all the tradition that they have. It will definitely be a huge challenge, and it should be a lot of fun. Now I'm going to pause you right there because, well, I'm not going to pause you right there because question 7 is going to answer to the comment that I was about to make. So go ahead and go with question 7, Chance.
Can you give a brief rundown of some of the key players going into the 2020 volleyball season?
All right, heading to the volleyball season, we're going to have several returners. We only lost 1 senior in Brook Lane. This group of seniors are very hungry to take that next step. They've gone from 4 wins in 2017 to 17 wins in 2018 and narrowly missing the playoffs to 27 wins in 2019 and qualifying for the playoffs. There's a lot of excitement surrounding this group. Several seniors will be the key to our success. We're looking for them to have great seasons. Shelby Malone, Maya Morris, Rindy Garrett, Kaylee South, Paige Cox. We also have a junior, Alyssa David, returning, and we're looking for her to have an even better season than she did last year. We also have some sophomores who will be expecting big things from Kylie Malone, Anna Hadowski, and Kendall Korbacher. It should be tons of fun. Now, what I was going to interject as Coach Marsh is looking at the volleyball and the growth of that program over the past couple seasons has been pretty impressive. To go from 4 wins in 2017 to 27 wins 2 years later, it's not only a testament to the hard work of the coaches, but definitely the hard work of the girls that are involved in that. And so I'm really hoping that, we postseason in volleyball, postseason in girls basketball, softball was poised to make a deep run. Girls track and the 2 track meets that we had, they were improving. And so you couple that with the already successful girls cross country program, and you could make a case that our girls program's on the right track and improving in every sport and making the postseason. We would have probably made the postseason in every girls sport.
By the way, that brings up one thing that I was thinking about earlier. Today is a sad day because this should be the day that we're all driving to Austin for the state track meet tomorrow.
yeah, that, and that's the awful part about it. And it's really the part about it that's the most sad is the missed opportunities for the kids, but man, also the missed opportunity as fans. How many consecutive years have you gone to the state track meet?
Not as many as you would think. 2, I believe. But
so 2 consecutive, but hey,
2 consecutive. But before that, at the old stadium, I think I went 14 years in a row.
So not only are we missing things as coaches and as athletes, but we're missing them with fans. I know one of my neighbors, Shannon Stevens, is heartbroken that he was not able to go to the state track meet because it's one of the things that he looks forward to.
He used to go with me way back in the day. In the 90s, we went several times together.
Yeah, and so it's for all the fans that this Corona thing is really starting to affect us. So
now there is some late breaking news that I would have loved to have asked Ramsey, but it came out after we sent him these questions. So I'm going to ask you because you've had this experience too, no doubt. Local Pilot Point athlete Presley Galloway, who was on the state championship team.
Pitched at Louisiana Tech, is that correct?
Yes, did very well there.
Okay.
She just got hired at Lindsay as their new head coach in softball.
Yeah.
And what I would like to have asked him, but I'll ask you, have you ever had any kids that have became coaches?
I have.
And then what does that feel like? There has to be almost a proud pop moment that this kid that you helped him develop or her the love for the sport and want to do what you do.
Well, it does. It plays not it plays. You hope that selfishly you played a big role in that decision because you had influence over that child and they said, man, I want to have the same impact on another athlete, another young person that said coach had on me. And so for Presley, I'm not going to put words in her mouth at all because honestly, I've never talked to her in my entire life. I couldn't pick her out of a crowd, but hats off to her for a great Bearcat career, a great Louisiana Tech career, and then hats off to Coach Smiley for getting that job filled with her. But I hope that Coach Ramsey and the coaches here at Pilot Point helped foster her to make that decision of I want to be a coach because I love sports and I love kids. I know personally for me it was Rick Jones and Lenny Gray and David West and Max Haskins and Kenny Calhoun and Lonnie Scott who just retired, so congratulations on your retirement, Coach Scott. All those guys and Jerry Jones, they made such a huge impact on my life that's what led me to want to do what I do, and that's a big influence on why I am the way that I am as a coach. And so, the sincere hope is that you affected that kid to make that decision. So I'm sure Coach Ramsey is thrilled that that's happened. And I'm sure he's thrilled for Presley. And I know that he's proud of everything she's accomplished for sure.
Well, Presley, that girl's never failed anything she's done. So I think Lindsay's going to be in good shape moving forward.
Absolutely.
I guess that's all we have for this show. Let's talk about a little bit of what things are to come. We're about to pivot into the world of news and step out of sports a little bit. So tell everybody what we got coming.
We have a interview with Todd Southard, high school principal, pegged for 9 a.m. in the morning in his office. So looking forward to that. And that'll shed a little bit of light on the world of academia. And so it's always good to talk with Mr. Southard. I've enjoyed working with him and working for him in my first year here at Pilot Point, and I'll be interested to hear the things that he has to say. We also have a senior parade coming up, 5:30 p.m. on May the 20th, I do believe. If those details are wrong, check the high school Facebook page. And then we have graduation coming up. Now, we've continued our work on the Bearcat film project that we talked about, and I think we've put out 2 games on YouTube.
We have.
And we're going to continue to kind of play with that, toy with that. But again, people out there, we're pleading with you to check with us with film. We've made some contacts with other coaches and things like that to try to up our film library, but anything they have is fantastic. I think that's a really neat thing that we can give. And then also, man, if you have an old basketball game, sure, send it in. Baseball, anything, because it's
volleyball, softball.
It's a rich history in every sport, both genders here, and we want to preserve it as much as we can. And what better way to do that than to have kind of the video located in one place? But for now, we'll just keep plugging along, keep going to the nutrition den and getting some shakes and some energy
take your
tea.
Post Signal there, sit on your couch at the nutrition den, read the Post Signal.
Absolutely.
Drink what is that again?
It's Captain America.
Captain America.
I'm telling you, it's a life changer. Just make sure you drink it early in the day, because if you drink it after about 3 p.m., you might not go to sleep until 3 a.m.
Tell everybody Bearcat Insider sent you.
Absolutely.
All right.
But I think that should about wrap it up with everything that we have going on in the near future, and hope we'll be pumping out episodes as much as we can.
I look forward to it. He's Travis Marsh. I'm Chance Kirby, and this was Bearcat Insider.